Stay tuned to the Classy Gourmet. Wait till you see it. Better yet, wait till you taste it. Hi, and welcome to the Classy Gourmet Cooking Show. I'm Colleen Cleek, and I am so excited to share with you chefs from around the world. And today we have Chef Cody James, who has traveled around the world and learned around the world. Chef Cody, welcome to the Classy Gourmet Show.
Hello.
Chef Cody, you are the chef and operator of Manhattan Catering in Des Moines, Iowa. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, I know that this journey has taken you all across the Midwest. Do you want to tell them a little bit about your history?
My history consists of 3-year apprenticeship in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at a 4-star restaurant called the Grenadiers. Back in 1977 I started.
Okay.
And from there I did some traveling over in Europe, doing 3-month to 6-month apprenticeships. After that I did the Culinary Institute of America, the CIA, over in Hyde Park, New York.
That's right. That's a wonderful institute.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you should be very proud.
Very.
Yes.
That was an excellent school. A lot of excellent teachers there.
But it sounds like you started that, and it was a history and a love of food first. And then you went and furthered your education. And now you're the chef and owner of your own catering company. That's exciting.
Almost
That's
definitely.
very exciting.
I find that I was very fortunate on how I was trained because I was trained in the kitchen first.
We're here to take your experience and let the home audience try to understand and come into your world today. And we're very excited to get started. Are you ready?
Almost definitely.
All right, well, stay tuned because we'll be right back.
Hi, and thank you, Colleen. My name is Chef Cody with Manhattan Catering, and today what I'm going to be doing for you is Louisiana Crab Cakes with a very, very interesting Louisiana mustard. I would like to call it a dressing because we are actually going to be serving this crab cake dish over salad. Now, the easiest way to get started is let's make the dressing first here. Now, what we've got is we're going to throw in a little bit of hot sauce, Louisiana hot sauce. And I'm actually using Red Hot, which is one of my favorites. Then we're going to, if I can get this open sometime today. This is an old trick, always use the back of the knife and you can open anything. A little bit of mustard, and this is Cajun mustard. Then we are going to add a little bit of cracked red pepper, some Cajun seasoning, little paprika, and then we have some olive oil here. And then I'm going to add the lemon and the salad oil, the lemon and the vinegar pretty much simultaneously. Now what I'm looking for is a very light emulsification to get the maximum amount of flavor without overdoing the emulsification and breaking down all the spices completely. And here we are with the lemon juice. Then we're going to run this one more time. Then we're going to taste it for salt and pepper, and I'm sure it's fine. But personally, I'd like to taste it anyway. Actually, that's perfect. It's a little bit acidy because we're actually going with 2 different citruses, but it's perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start the crab cakes. Now, one of the things that I did is I already turned on the pan so it gets nice and warm. I'm going to go ahead and add my peanut oil to it. You approximately want your peanut oil at approximately 130, excuse me, yes, 130 to 145 degrees. Other than that, it's going to burn. Okay, I went ahead and added my lump crab meat. I'm going to add my garlic, a little bit of chopped celery, a little onion, and then we're just going to follow up with the same spices that we used. Now, the recipe calls for mayonnaise. I'm actually cheating. I'm going with a whole egg. And you'll find that if you utilize an egg the same way that you utilize mayonnaise, it works out fine. Just utilize your egg, a little bit of oil if you need it, and I'm adding a little bit of parsley as well. Then we're going to take the breadcrumbs, which are right here, and go ahead and add approximately a cup. Now, one of the things that my dad used to always tell me, keep your plastic gloves in your pocket. You never know when you might need one. So, as you can see, we always do. So, I'm going to go ahead and just very quickly palm. Now that's a beautiful crab cake. Now it should be nice and loose because you are going to put this in the freezer before you actually finish breading them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this little gorgeous ring I have here and we're going to make the crab cakes individually. Now you can either do this with a scoop. I'm approximately going 2.5 to 3 ounces per crab cake. Here, let me move this over here so you get a better look. Easy money. Now, because of TV, as you guys know, I actually kind of cheated a little bit. And I'm going to pull the crab cakes out of the refrigerator, all ready for breading. Now, what we have here is we have flour. I'm going to go ahead and season the flour just a hair. A little Cajun seasoning in the flour. Then we're going to do a quick egg wash. Now the egg wash I'm going to finish with milk. Now I'm using 1 egg and approximately 3 ounces of milk. Now you can adjust that to how you see fit, but normally that works perfect for me. And then we're going to finish up with seasoning our breadcrumbs just slightly as well with a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Now I'm going to add a little bit of parsley to this just because I like it that way. But if you guys don't want to use it, that's fine. Okay, now here we go. We've got into the flour mixture. Please make sure you knock off all the excess flour into the egg wash and into the breadcrumb mixture. Now, because these were in the refrigerator for approximately 20 minutes, this is just going to be a little bit too hot. But magic of TV, here's another pan. Here's another secret for you guys. If the pan's ever too hot, just switch pans, use your oil, and you will be fine. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bread the second and the third. Then we're going to go ahead and saute these real quick. Now you might want to wash your hands in between this because that does get a little messy. Okay, now here we go, straight into the hot oil. Now be careful because it will splatter, but if you're very careful, you shouldn't have any troubles with that. Now let me go ahead and clear this off. Now, obviously, this would be 2 crab cakes per order, but because we're having fun, we're going to go ahead and just do 1 serving. Okay, tongs. Now, these are coming along perfectly, and as you can see, they are crisping up nicely. There you go, beautiful. And you want this golden brown that we're getting here. That's perfect. Now, while those are finishing, I'm going to go ahead and make the plate ready. And we've got a bunch of interesting things here we're going to be working with. I've got some mescaline greens here, which are baby greens. And they are excellent. We've got a little bit of spinach here. We've got some arugula. We've got a lot of nice choices here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick floret since I've got time here. As soon as I find my paring knife, which is always in my pocket. This is just a little garde-manger trick that we always try to work with Manhattan Catering. It's just a really simple tomato rose. Do-do-do-do-do. My wife told me I shouldn't do any singing today, but, you know, as long as I don't break into my Cherries more, we'll be okay. But anyway, as I was saying, real quick, here's a really nice tomato rose for garni. And then just take your tomato skin and twirl it inward. Boom, like so. There we go. And then crab cakes are about a minute away, but they are beautiful, as you can see. Now, one of the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rag and I'm going to actually put the crab cakes on the rag before I put them onto the plate. And I'm also going to take this dressing and pour to the squeeze bottle, and you'll find that using squeeze bottles make your day go much easier when you're in a very busy kitchen, because now instead of ladling the dressing, I can just do a quick squirt and we're done. Oh, these are gorgeous. Then we're going to go ahead and allow these to rest for a second. I'm going to move this off the flame. Now, one of the things you'll find is most of the time what I will do is I will take these, stick them in the oven for about 5 minutes at 300 degrees just to make sure that they're completely warmed all the way through. You want them at approximately 110, 120 degrees. If you go much farther than that, then you're going to get a little bit of egg if you go with the egg. If you go with the mayonnaise, you can take it up to 120, 125. But it's really not necessary because everything there is finished. Everything's cooked. And then we're just going to do a quick 1 and 2. And then we're just going to take the dressing and just do a quick squirt over the top. There we go. And just do a quick squirt over the top like so. And then let's finish it with a little bit of greens, a little bit more greens. And what else can we decorate this with? Let's just use a little crushed pepper around the plate, around the edge of the plate. And here you are, ladies and gentlemen, Louisiana Crab Cakes with baby greens and a very, very interesting tomato in the center.
Here we are at the end of a meal, and we need a fabulous dessert. And who better to show us a fabulous dessert than Chef Cody James, Manhattan Catering? All right.
Hello.
Now,
thank you.
You're welcome, Chef Cody. We're excited to have you on the show, and you're going to do have some fun, are you? Are you?
Oh, most definitely.
All right.
We're going to do the old-fashioned Cherries Jubilee, which is probably one of my favorites by far as far as desserts are concerned.
And look at those cherries.
And yes,
They're beautiful.
Those are the best Bing cherries you can get.
That's
Actually,
right.
these are canned, and if you were to use fresh, it would be to your advantage to blanch them in a little bit of sugar, water with a touch of salt.
It.
But
All right, and you've got some butter going on. We've got the
yes.
makings for a great dessert with butter and cherries.
we've got a half a stick of butter,
Okay.
and we're going to go ahead and add our sugar.
Okay.
And you want to add your sugar before the butter completely melts, because then the butter might get too hot and you might be in trouble.
Okay, so the sugar's going to help to cool down the butter.
And then we're just going to get it going.
Okay.
And once the the sugar starts to melt a little bit,
Okay.
it's time to roll.
It's time to roll. Now, are you familiar with Chef Sarah Moulton, Sarah's Secrets?
Yes.
She
most
showed us,
definitely.
yeah, when she was here at the Classy Gourmet, I just love having all kinds of chefs come here and teach me neat things. She showed us that sugar left alone on its own without any butter or just heat will caramelize.
Exactly.
So can you imagine how this is going to taste with caramelization with butter and sugar?
Oh, this is a fantastic
Yum.
dish. And then we're going to put in some orange zest.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's beautiful curly orange zest.
And get that moving a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and throw in our cherries.
Okay. Oh, and they had a little bit of juice in them too.
Yep.
It's very nice.
Now we're going to let this go a little bit, and then we're going to do a quick flambe.
Okay. Now, is this a traditional Cherries Jubilee?
Yes,
Okay.
this is actually the traditional
The traditional Cherries Jubilee. So I knew it always had a little bit of orange, and I know we're going to do brandy to flame.
Now you could get away with using Grand Marnier if you want it,
gonna
and
say, a
then
little
walk away from the
Grand
orange
Marnier.
juice.
Yes.
But the reason why I'm using orange juice, and also I have the Bing cherry juice left,
Right.
is just in case it gets a little bit too thick. It
Okay.
gives me something flavorful other than just throwing water in
That's
to
right.
dilute it a little bit.
Well, after you got all that great caramelization, you've got the orange peel. Water is just going to dilute. You don't want to do that.
Exactly.
All right, so this is where you stand back at home. He's
Oh,
adding
most
the
definitely.
alcohol. You want to add it off, and then you tip your pan nicely, get a nice flame going.
There we
you
go.
Flame that.
And we're going to let it just reduce.
Okay.
I think we got a little flame there.
Yeah. I can see it about here. I don't think the camera can, but there you go. That
And
looks
then
good.
we're
A
going
little
to
bit of
add
orange juice.
orange juice and a little bit,
Little bit of
of the
cherry
cherry juice.
Give it a nice red color. Bring it back.
hmm
Very nice.
And I'm going to go ahead and wipe this real quick.
Oh, they're so big and plump, and they look
Oh,
so
they're
beautiful.
gorgeous. And excuse me one second. I'm
Okay,
gonna go
now we're
ahead
going to
and
want this to
clean it.
get, I'm going to turn it up just a bit. We're going to want this to boil down just a tad. You got the ice cream in a beautiful presentation here in a nice wine glass. I can still smell the alcohol. You know, everybody asks when you have alcohol in a dish, does it boil out or does it cook out? And the answer is not all of it. There's always just a little bit of residual in there. You can't cook it all out, but
But what you will find is the more you let it reduce, the more alcohol you're going to get rid of.
That's right.
And quite frankly, I would serve this to a child. I would just allow all of the alcohol to completely evaporate before
that's right.
you do so. Or else your kids will sleep very well that night.
I don't know about you, but my mom always gave me a shot of blackberry brandy if I was coughing and I couldn't sleep. I know. Don't arrest her. She's
And-
a wonderful mom.
And now we're going
Yeah.
to go ahead and serve real quick.
Okay, and
Now
you've got
there's-
two different presentations here.
Yes, most definitely.
Great.
Now, you'll find in more of the four-star restaurants, you'll find Cherries Jubilee and a tumbler of sort. And another way to serve it, which I think is as elegant,
Right.
is on a beautiful dessert plate.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you both, and you guys decide which
Which
ones
one we
you
want
like
to
the
do.
best.
That's what it's about, because they're going to do this hopefully for their guests. You can also pre-scoop out your ice cream on a nice tray, okay, and then put it in the freezer so your balls are already ready, and all you have to do is go straight into the cup. Or you can go ahead and place everything in this cup just like Chef Cody did, and then stick the whole cup in your freezer or refrigerator. Now,
Exactly.
don't do that overnight, because you can shatter. They become, once the glass gets cold or frozen for a long period of time, when you take it out, it's easily shattered, especially since you're adding a hot liquid to it. So we're gonna let this one come to room temp just a bit, but you're welcome to go ahead and, it still needs to get thick, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
A little bit thicker.
Now, one trick you could use, let's say if you were really in a hurry to serve this, a dab of cornstarch with a little bit of water.
Yeah.
It'll thicken up so fast that you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I prefer to allow it to cook out. It won't take that much longer.
That's right. Now, once you add the cornstarch, we call it a cornstarch slurry, you can't go back.
Exactly.
And it will also thicken an intense thick, and then it could break. It doesn't always happen, but it can break, which means that it then loosens back up and separates itself out again.
And
That's
then,
what we call breaking the sauce. So you have, there's no way you're going to break this because the natural sugars are going to caramelize and
Exactly.
thicken. So
Now,
that's always good.
We are
All right.
ready to dish.
I want to go this one first, just because this one's starting to become just about the right temp. I think will be fun. Oh, how pretty. Oh, yum.
And it's nice when you can see the beautiful orange zest and things
Yeah,
of that
I like
nature.
that orange zest.
That's one of the reasons why you don't just go with
Okay, got it.
you don't just go with orange juice. It's really nice to have that beautiful zest floating throughout.
I'm just going to help that one along just a little bit.
No,
So I
that's
think
fine.
having them a little bit down there, you can even put one more on now that I've smashed it in. There we go. Look how pretty. Like that.
And
No, I'm sorry. I'm loving that one. That's
I'm
good.
just going to put a
Put
little bit more
here, let me
cherry
get that just so we don't wilt that. There you
on there.
go. Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Smells good.
Cherries
Cherries Jubilee.
here, I have a spoon for
All
you.
right.
Would you like
Do I
to
get
give
to
it a
try it?
try? Almost
Absolutely. Are you
definitely.
kidding? This is what I've been waiting for. Oh, really hot. It's delicious.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Oh yeah. Thank you for being on the show today, Chef Cody. Cherries Jubilee, the perfect ending to a great day.